Another frustrating loss for the Auburn Tigers, this time dropping a heartbreaker to the Georgia Bulldogs 20-10. Let's discuss it on this live edition of the Uptempo podcast.
You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Uptempo podcast. As always, I'm your host, Dustin Smith, joined by my guy, Nick Fraser, here as we do every single Sunday, 9 a.m. Central Time, reacting to, well, Nick, you ever seen this movie before? Another Auburn loss, this time 20-10 to the Georgia Bulldogs last night in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Crazy game, Nick. Crazy game. Auburn definitely looked like they had a bye week, had a good plan to come in, to start the game out. Offense is rolling. Jackson Arnold scores a touchdown. The SEC once again decides that Auburn touchdowns don't really count as touchdowns. And then from that point on, it was a completely different game. Really your classic tale of two halves. Kirby Smart does what he does. Known for making adjustments at halftime. And Auburn's coaching staff did not have a pivot. And ultimately, man, I was thinking about this morning when I woke up. Auburn does not lose just a regular game. I almost would just rather lose like 31-3 or something and just be like, well, there's really no doubt we just suck. But like the way that Auburn loses is it's just so crazy. There's the inevitable gonna shoot yourselves in the foot, gonna find a way to blow it. On top of that, whatever in the world the officiating is this season that's happening to Auburn, we'll get into all that. There's just so much to unpack into all these, man. But the end result, bottom line business, Auburn loses their third straight SEC game in a row. Let me fall to 3-3 on the season, start 0-3 in the SEC. And as I pass it to you, Nick, we will now update Hugh Freeze's record at Auburn. He is 14-17 overall, 5-14 in the SEC, 7-16 versus the Power Four, 1-11 versus ranked teams, and 9-9 at home. Nick, your analysis of the game, man. Somehow a double-digit loss, 20-10 to the Georgia Bulldogs. Now the ninth loss in a row to Georgia for the Auburn side.
Does it? Okay. Why does it feel like these games should be blowouts, but they're not? Does it feel like that to you?
I don't even. You know what it feels like to me? It feels like Auburn's not real. Like, I'm like, does this really continue? Like, what is this, bro? What? Like, okay, when Iowa loses, right? Like, you know what Iowa's problem is.
Yes, they can't throw the football.
Right? They can't. They've never been able to move the football, and that's a problem at Auburn right now for sure.
Yeah.
But like, it's not. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of teams you can watch them, and you say, okay, that's their problem.
Yeah.
All right, that's their issue. Kentucky, you know what the issue is. With Auburn, it's just something
different.
It's the goofiest shit in the world, bro. I've never in my life. All I know is Auburn's going to find a way to lose. That's all I know.
Oh my God.
And nothing, the things they can control and the things they can't control, nothing will go their way, one way or the other. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
I really don't understand it, to be honest with you. Like I said, like when the fourth quarter started, I said Auburn's about to lose this game. Yeah. Like I literally said it on the live stream. I said, man, Auburn's about to lose this game. So I said, man, Auburn's about to lose this game. And I'm tired of trying to figure out why, bro. But I mean, here's the best way that I can say this, bro. Here's the best way I can wrap all this up into a nice bow for everybody. With the bye week, it seemed as if the offense came out and looked competent in whatever script they had, whatever the plan was, but it still wasn't enough to put more than 10 points on the board. Well, let me take that back. We all know it should have been 17. It still wasn't enough to put more than 21 points on the board in the first half. With Georgia only having, if I'm not mistaken, 3 possessions in the first half. Excuse me, 4 possessions in the first half. Georgia only had 8 minutes of time of possession. Auburn had almost 22 minutes of time of possession. And for the way the offense looked and for the way the offense performed in that game, it still looked like the offense couldn't put more than 21 points on the board in the first half. It's like you kept Georgia off the field. You kept Georgia's offense off the field. You kept their defense on the field. You were running the ball against this Georgia team, this Georgia defense, who I have not been very high on Georgia's both sides of the offense, both lines of scrimmage this season. And I hope people watching that game understood why I felt like that at the beginning of the season. But the one thing that I discounted, that I gave account for Auburn was, I'm not gonna say discounted, but Kirby Smart, as you stated, in the second half made adjustments. And those adjustments in the second half just threw Auburn off of his game plan because Auburn didn't score again in the game. Georgia put up 17 points in the second half. So I look at it and I'm just like even with the offense looking the way it looked in the first half, we still could not put up more than 17 points in the game. I don't know, Dustin. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I really don't know. It literally was a tale of two halves, in my opinion. The first half, Auburn's defense was not on the field as much because Auburn's offense was sustaining drives. They were moving the ball down the field efficiently. And Georgia's defense was on the football field for a long time. Then you get to the second half, it just flipped. Time of possessions just flipped. It's like everything just flipped to the other. And I'm just like, I don't know this. I'm so like I agree with you. This doesn't feel real. It does not feel real at all. It feels as if we are living in one of the multiverses. And this multiverse right here is just the messed up multiverse.
I gotta get out of this one, bro.
Yeah, that's like we got to get to the one where we actually like something. Like the multiverse. You remember? I don't know if y'all Marvel fans or not, but the part of the multiverse where everybody was like a cartoon, where like the pig was like was like Spider-Man. Like I don't know if anybody remembers that, but we got to get out of that one and we got to get back to the one with like Miles Morales and like all those other guys that was like. I don't like this at all, bro. It's not fun. Trust me, it's not fun at all.
I mean, did it feel like to you?
It's not fun.
Did it feel to you like the adjustments was the bit like you had a bye week to come up with a good plan, and the second that Kirby got a minute to make an adjustment to that, I mean, is that feels like what it was, and we know that Kirby does that a lot. I mean, you talked about it during the week. I got to be ready whenever Kirby adjusts to what we're initially doing, and then if that's what happened, there was no
adjustments.
Yeah,
there was no adjustments. It looked as if he reverted back to what we saw against Texas A&M and what you saw against Oklahoma. That's what it looked like. He reverted back to. It was almost. It's almost like, to me, watching this game was like, we're gonna make this first thing work. Well, if the first thing don't work, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do after that. I don't know, Dustin. I don't know. I honestly do not know why. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating because you have as content creators, you have to get on here and you have to try to find a reason why, from what you're seeing, why what's happening is happening.
Yeah.
And it's just hard because you look like, and I know I have to just keep reiterating because the offense looked good in the first half, but you still couldn't put more than 17 points on the board. That still wasn't enough for Auburn to end up winning the game. And I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, you still lose 20-17, even if they give you a touchdown you scored. And it's
sense.
like, and I know a lot of people, I mean, I see it on social media. People are mad at me for pointing out some of the things about what happened on the field and saying, well, what about the officials? Look, we're going to get to the officials. Trust me, I'm going to talk about the officials. Probably going to do a whole episode on just SEC officiating this week. So, going to talk about it. I have a whole lot of questions. I could talk 2 hours about it, truthfully. Definitely played a pact in hurting Auburn's momentum And that's the part. This is the bigger conversation to me. When that happened, Georgia immediately pinned on the 1 yard line.
Mhm.
They go right down and get a field goal. And it's a completely, I mean, Auburn didn't have 50 yards of offense from that moment forward.
It was like
And
42.
if this was a one-off, I'd say okay. But man, we're in year 3, game 6, and it's the same stuff.
Yeah, man.
And there's this overwhelming, and I've heard a lot of people. I wasn't at the game. I've heard a lot of analysts that were at the game last night say that from that moment on, the stadium was different.
Yep.
Not that the fans still weren't cheering, it still wasn't a great atmosphere, but that it just that feeling of impending doom started to come over the stadium. And I felt that at the Arkansas game last year when Damari fumbled that ball going into the end zone.
Yeah,
I felt it in the stadium of like, hey, we're gonna lose this game. Like it's a hard feeling to shake. You arrive there after years and years of losing. And Auburn is a losing culture. It is it's not one person, man. Like Cam Coleman's not a loser. Elijah Melendez, Keldrick Falk, like these guys individually are not losers.
Yep.
But this even predates Hugh Freeze.
Mm.
The culture is a loser. Look at the Raiders right now. It doesn't matter who the Raiders put as a head coach. It doesn't matter who the Raiders get as quarterback, what changes they make in their front office department. Tom Brady comes and becomes a partial owner. They're just a losing culture. And until they find a way to win close games in the fourth quarter, they're going to be a losing culture. And it just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks. That's Auburn. That's what Auburn is.
Yep.
So the moment adversity hits,
that's it.
Everyone feels it and it crumbles.
Yep.
And it's not the fans' fault for feeling it. It's earned. That's just the natural feeling. It's like, oh, man, here we go again. I don't think we can rebound from this. Yeah. And it's earned because you've seen it. It really good. Even Gus. See, the thing that Gus had was Gus beat the teams he was supposed to beat most of the time.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But even in the big games, it was still this.
Yep.
This has been going on for like a decade in big games. It's now regressed to the point to where New Mexico State can wax our ass 31-10, and that wouldn't have happened under Gus. But that's where we are now. It's a losing culture, Nick. That's what I see. And I've made the example before with the Buccaneers, who I watch every single Sunday. I watched them miss the playoffs for 14 seasons in a row. They just found ways to lose games the culture was losing. Brady came in, showed them how to win. Now they've made the playoffs 5 years in a row. The culture's rotten, bro. It's rotten. And I don't know exactly. It's a long discussion as to how to change that. But what is abundantly and very clearly obvious to me now is that Hugh Freeze is not the guy to turn that around. And I would say he's furthermored it. He's pushed it further into a losing culture because this is what we talked about.
Yep.
The Scott Frost at Nebraska thing. That we're there now. We're there. It's the same. You're not going to get it figured out. You're not going to win these close games. Auburn's just going to lose close games under Hugh Freeze as head coach.
Yeah.
And they're really only close, Nick. They're really only close because of the defensive coordinators.
Yeah.
So I give him credit. Ron Roberts was a good hire, and he's doing well at Florida now. He gave you a good defense for a year, and then the DJ Durkin has been solid for his 2 years at Auburn. But make no mistake about it, for the offensive head coach, the only reason these games are even close, as he likes to say, are because of his defense. It's not because of him.
So I asked this question, man. I asked this question because everything that you agree with right there, I do agree with you that it is a cultural problem, which in my opinion goes up past just the football coach. It goes into the administration. It goes into the ADs. It goes into the associate ADs. It goes into the president's office, and things stuff like that. So I asked. So I think right now, I think everybody agrees with your sentiment that Hugh Freeze is not the guy to actually be the guy to change the culture of this program, or to be the guy that can at least initiate that change and have people feeling like this is something different.
Right.
Can be that. I think everybody agrees with you there, and I think everybody is ready, is just waiting for that what's going to happen. But what is it? What is going to have to happen, or what is it that you see needs to happen in order for that culture to change? Now, and I'm gonna use this as an example. I want y'all to take this as an example because I studied this last week during the week during the bye week. I said Auburn is teetering on the brink of being irrelevant, and I likened it to Alabama. You take after Alabama, after Gene Stallings left, after he won that championship, after he left. Alabama for a period of time there. Of course, they was on probation. They were going through coach after coach after coach until they got to Saban. And Alabama was literally not they had national championships that they claimed, but they were not like a relevant team. They were not a team that was a destination spot. And it took them hitting basically rock bottom in order for the administration and the program to realize that, look, we need to make a hire here that is going to re-energize, reinvigorate the fan base, and provide some type of foundation, some type of culture change in order for us to get back to where we were. Now, you offered the job to the guy that potentially ended up being the job. Apparently, he turned it down. Then you offer Rich Rodriguez. He turned it down, went to West Virginia, and then got the guy that you originally wanted back. And you saw how that happened. 17 years later, we sitting here looking at Alabama football as the standard. Do you think Auburn is at that point right now? Like we are almost like, is Auburn teetering on the brink of irrelevancy, or is Auburn at that point now of being irrelevant?
Yeah, Auburn's irrelevant.
Okay.
Auburn's irrelevant. I think you're gonna have your 5th losing season in a row, and if you somehow manage to pull out of that, 6-6, 7-5, I don't see how anybody right now in their right mind could pick anything better than 7-5 for Auburn. And I'm at 6-6, 5-7, and if there's a coaching change in the middle of the season, maybe it re-energizes the team, or maybe it goes the other way. So I think hiring coaches is really hard, man. And I think that there are guys that Tennessee hired that I thought were going to be able to turn it around for them that didn't. And then when they hired Heupel, judging off of his UCF resume, I was like, I don't think that one's going to work out either. And he was the guy. So, they're really going to have to get this one right. I know that. They can't afford to miss again, because where this fan base is, I've never seen the Auburn fan base here. And I think in the second half, for the first time, really, and this should tell you how bad it is right now. I think for the first time since I've watched Auburn, and we've seen bad years. The thing was, there was always, you 5-7, and you bounce back the next year. You have 3-9, and you went to the national championship, win the SEC the next year. There was always a bounce back, a quick. There was never this long, season after season of this. I think what you saw in the second half last night, and I wasn't there, but one, again, I'm going off of what was said from media people that were there. And then 2, what I could observe on TV and the announcers were talking about, it was a different stadium in the second half. I think what that is a direct reflection of the mood of the Auburn fan base. We don't believe in this anymore. I'm not saying that we don't love the team and that the fans don't show up to the games and give their all. Auburn will always do that. They're some of the best fans in all of sports. So don't understand what I'm saying wrong if you're out there listening. What I'm saying is, it's just, you can't blame the lack of hope is earned. And I think that it's there. I think that the apathy is officially going to set in. I think that we saw the shift in the mood after the Texas A&M loss. I think you had a bye week, which, a little time can help a little bit. You had a bye week. You were still 3-2, so there was still that hope of, okay, you got Georgia at home at night. You're retiring Cam Newton's jersey. It felt like a last stand to me. It really did. It felt like a last stand. In the third quarter of the Penn State game in Harson's second year, I looked at my brother. We went to the game together. I looked at my brother halfway through the third quarter, and I said, that guy might be the coach for another month. But this is done. This is not going to work. This is done. There was obviously a lot of other stuff going on off the field. That was the backdrop of that. But seeing that on the field combined with all of that, I said, okay, this is toast. I felt that way. I felt that way when Hudson Cox shanked that punt. Like, seriously, I thought, okay, the Hugh Freeze era is done because they find ways, one way or the other. A 14-yard punt in that scenario is crazy, bro. It's crazy. And like, I ultimately put the blame, Nick, on the head coach.
Oh, of course.
So I'm not blaming everything on Jackson Arnold when I say this. But here's the reality of the situation. Jackson Arnold was benched last year at Oklahoma. He didn't get benched for no reason. And you know that because if you're Hugh Freeze, because Oklahoma came into your building and beat you with Jackson on the bench. He didn't play in that game, and they were still able to beat you.
Yep.
So they were winning games without him. They beat you without him. Yes, there was issues at Oklahoma, no doubt. But to act like those issues were the only reason why he was struggling at Oklahoma, that's naive. And all summer, I watched different people that know way more about quarterback play than me break down the film, and they could show you the issues that were on tape from Jackson at Oklahoma that had nothing to do with what was or wasn't around him at OU. So, and I'm gonna go back to this. For our Just a Sec pod at the War Report Network last year at the halfway point, I did a most disappointing player and a most disappointing coach on top of a most surprising player on top of a most surprising coach. At that moment in time, I had no idea of knowing that Jackson Arnold would be Auburn's quarterback the next season. My most disappointing player was Jackson Arnold. My most disappointing coach was Hugh Freeze. Those guys ended up linking up. Of course, of course, it's not going well. Of course, it's not going well. The writing was on the wall. This is why the day that Auburn signed Jackson Arnold in December, I tweeted out a simple picture of a nail in a coffin. And I pulled the tweet up on an episode maybe a week or two ago because it was the final nail in the coffin. Because if you'd watched Jackson Arnold, you knew that he was not an SEC level quarterback. He's not a D1 quarterback, to be truthful with you.
Wow.
And I think you saw that last night, just missing wide open guys. It's a bad eval for Hugh. And at this point, you missed on Peyton Thorne. You blamed your OC, fired him, doubled down, brought in your boy and Derek Nix, and said, I am going to get this right with Peyton Thorne. And then you missed again. Like it didn't work again, year 2. So I count that as 2 misses.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And then,
of course,
you went out and got a questionable guy that got benched at his previous school, threw the bank at him, and brought him in, and now it looks the same. So you've missed 3 times in 3 years. Your evaluation as a quarterback is terrible. And on top of that, you can't put anything around him. Hey, Nick, guess what? Another game where Auburn commits double-digit penalties. Like it's an undisciplined football team, man. And the writing's on the wall. We all know where this is headed, dude.
Yeah, I sit. After the Texas A&M game, I was heavy on it's time for Hugh Freeze. I kept saying it's time. I kept saying that. And a lot of people was like, well, let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see. I was like, well, I hope you saw what you needed to see. Because getting back to the culture part of this, man, I look at it and I don't believe that Hugh Freeze is the guy that's just. I never thought that Hugh Freeze was the guy that was going to come in and just reset a culture of Auburn football back to where we are saying, okay, Auburn is a perennial. I don't want to use the word powerhouse or perennial playoff contender. I just never thought that. I always thought that he was like every 2 to 3 year, more like 3 to 4 year coach that would have you in the conversation and things and stuff like that. I look at this, man, and so I want to say I saw somebody in the chat say, when do you hire? When do you do it? When do you fire Hugh Freeze? It should have happened. It should have happened right after the Texas A&M game, in my personal opinion. That's what it should have had. It should have happened then, and then you would have had a chance to, let Durkin and Prompt have his tryout as the guy.
Yeah.
and see how that goes. But I'm speechless by this, man, because like when you look at the team, when you look at the talent on the team, and I asked this question at the beginning of the season, just based off of the talent on this roster and based off of what you're seeing, would you be happy with an 8-4, 7-5 record based off what the talent is telling us? And no, you wouldn't be, because this should be a 9-10 win roster, is what this should tell you. This should be a 9-10 win roster competing for a playoff spot. But the reason why I'm so speechless about it is because I look at the players and I be like, man, they deserve so much better, bro. Like they deserve so much better. Like they really deserve so much better. Now, we sit here and say they deserve, but you could be in practice and it could be a whole different situation. But from what we're seeing as the fans and things, stuff of that nature, just based off how they playing, bro, they going out there playing their hearts out. They deserve so much better, in my opinion, man. And I hate that this is happening for them, because I hate it, bro. And it's so much stuff I want to say that I'm not gonna say, but God, to be more careful, bro. Like it's embarrassing. It's disheartening. Bro. It's a lot, man.
Yeah. Look, when you I stopped yelling at the TV. You know what I mean? And when I'm at the games, I've quit yelling at I just sit there befuddled. I'm like, man, at everything. I do look, I'm not gonna not touch on this officiating, and then we'll discuss where Auburn goes from here on these next couple of segments. But I do want to get to some of the comments, hear from y'all. Nice crowd in here. Do us a favor of liking the video right now, subbing to the channel if you haven't done it yet. Share this thing out on social media. Tag Nick at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Go over to the Water Cooler Talk Podcast and subscribe to that channel as well. And tag me on the at DMcShaw28. Tag the Warport Podcast Network. Tim the Toolman Taylor says, we lose in the most frustrating of ways. Look, I'll give Harsin this. He was just getting his butt kicked. and that was a lot. It was a lot easier to have the conversation at least and say, well, this guy's just not it, and this isn't going to work, and he's not recruiting. There wasn't a whole lot of debate. I'll give Hugh this. His losses have been spectacular. They have been spectacular, dude. I've never seen nothing like it. Fire Freeze says another record for Freeze. First Auburn coach to lose his first 3 SEC games in 3 straight years. Hey, he's turning and burning those record books.
If he lose next week, he'll be the first one to lose his first 4 SEC games, because he's been 0-4 the past 2 seasons in the SEC. And if he loses to Missouri next week, it'll be another 0-4 start. Hey, it's a pattern. That's a trend.
Nick, one thing we can say, he is rewriting the record books at Auburn.
This is what he is. That is
he is rewriting the record books. Congratulations, Hugh.
We're gonna hang his hat. We're gonna hang his visor.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, dude. Yeah, it's just a reminder what it shouldn't be. Another game where the refs screw us over in the first half, and then another game where Auburn screwed themselves in the second. Yeah, this is the thing. It's a complicated. It's complicated to even break down Auburn games.
Yeah,
because there's so many different things that go wrong in them. Some of them Auburn's fault. Some of them, as I'm about to discuss, I'm going conspiracy route at this point. I'm just telling you. Tim says 1-11 versus ranked opponents. Is that bad, Tim?
That is horrible.
Is that bad? Fire Freeze says our team does not have the confidence and Freeze to overcome tough situations, and thus when the tough situations arises, they fold just like the coach. It's hard to argue this. It's hard to argue.
That right there is so important. Shout out to Tez. Tez was in the stadium last night, and Tez was like, as soon as that overturned touchdown, the call on the field touchdown, that was a touchdown, he said it was like the whole sideline just took the demeanor of Hugh Freeze, and just the excitement was gone.
Right.
That's what he said. He said it just looked like the whole sideline's excitement was gone, and it was hard for them to get back in the game at that point in time.
That's crazy, Nick.
And that part right there, like I asked this question, and I say, and I just look at other coaches in the conference, and I'd be like, if Brian Kelly was the head coach for Auburn right now, will Auburn have won that game last night? In the exact same situation? The exact same situation, everything happened. If Brian Kelly was the head coach, will Auburn have won that game? If Mike Elko was the head coach, will Auburn have won that game? If Lane Kiffin was the head coach, will Auburn have won that game?
Kalen DeBoer.
Same question. If Kalen DeBoer was the head coach, would Auburn have won that game last night? Because I sit here like we heard him talk about talent for 2.5 years. But when you look at both of these rosters, right? When you look at both of these rosters and you look at how they look, it's comparable. But what is the difference that's going to get a team over the hump in those crunch moments? It's going to be the culture and the coaching that is set. That's why the defense looked so good up until they didn't at the end of the game, because it was on the field. They were just on the field too long.
Right. Yeah.
So I look at it and I'm just like, if there was another coach that was in that position, would Auburn win that game? And I sit and I ask myself that question, like, would a different personality, would a different type of...
I'll ask you this. DJ Durkin.
If DJ Durkin was the head guy, not just the DC.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot of other conversations about that you can have off of that. Who's the OC? Blah 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 blah. But just for what you've seen from DJ and his mental makeup and his mentality, do you think?
Yes. I think Auburn wins that game.
Okay.
I think
that's a very important answer to that question, Nick.
I think they win that game for the simple fact because that one play would not have been the definition of the rest of the game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it makes sense based on the head coach. It's like, if plan A doesn't work, oh man, we just messed up. We just got we can't it's nothing else we can do. Unlike the defensive coordinator, who actually was like, yeah, we've done well so far this season. In the bye week, I'm actually going to go get a third party outside agency to come in and look at my defense and tell me where my weaknesses are and tell me how to get better. Because guess what? I can always better my best at some point in time. So I'm looking at it and I'm just like, a coach with that type of mindset of just like, all right, if plan A ain't working, we just messed up. Okay, we can make this work, because guess what? This is not the end of the game. That's just one play in the game. I look at it and I just had these conversations in my head, and sometimes I just write stuff down and try to answer them myself when I get clarity on it. And I'm just like, man, like what if there was what if another coach was on the sideline, same scenario on the sideline, there was another coach there? Will Auburn have won that game? I don't.
Like one thing that I think you can determine, you now have enough evidence of, enough data, is that Hugh Freeze, the answer is clear.
Nah, he's not going to do it, bro. Right. He's not going to do it.
And he said after the game, Nick, he said, I don't know how. He literally said, I don't know what we have to do to win these games. Buddy, that's your job. And if you don't know how to do that, then like, what the F are we doing here?
This man, he said in the press conference, he said, we quite don't know how to win close games.
Buddy,
those are his words.
I know.
His words were, we quite don't know how to win close games. I said right there, bro, if I was John Cohen, I would have been like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, why? Nah, dog. I don't like that, bro. Like, and then, excuse me, let me say this. And then you get mad at a reporter for asking you a question about accountability. Yeah. Well, we just show up on Monday. We just show up on Monday and prepare to win a football game. What you talking? You literally just sat here and said, we quite don't know how to win close games.
Right.
Man, if you don't get out of here, man, you know what, bro? You know what, man? Yeah. this is hilarious. This is hilarious, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's man, I hate this. C-Mac says, y'all gonna learn about having all this false hope in Hugh Freeze. C-Mac, I have not had any hope since the New Mexico State game. So yeah, I've been very, very concerned since then. So my hope has long been gone in Hugh Freeze. And it definitely evaporated in the Cal and Arkansas games last year. There wasn't any like it's been gone, but it just I tell you what, I scratched my head before he ever coached a game when he named a quarterback, the starting quarterback for Preston. I said, well, that sure is weird. That's not how you win a job in any other place. Wow. Fire Free says the Auburn fan base is mighty and always shows up. We deserve better. War Damn Eagle. Yep.
Agree.
Yeah, and the fan base is at a place that I've never seen before in terms of just frustration, no hope, and completely over it. And I don't know how Hugh Freeze is really going to be able to regain that trust or bounce back from it outside of like winning out. SEC season says good opening script, adversity, implosion. That's Auburn football. I bet I can guess what's going to happen next week. Yeah, I mean, we probably something that looks similar to the Missouri game last year.
Exactly.
I had to guess. Just on repeat.
Oh
dude.
my god!
On a loop. Defense will play good, and yeah. 3 losses back to back to back in the SEC. I don't even know where to start. I can help you, Daryl, by firing the head coach. It's tough. Daniel Denny says UGA made adjustments we didn't.
Man.
Yep. I don't know how many times Hugh Freeze has made good adjustments. And it's like, yes, the defense did give up 17 points in the second half. Offense also had 3 straight 3-and-outs.
Yes.
That's the Georgia Bulldogs you're playing, man. You can't do that. You know that. Fire Freeze gifted 20 up-tempo podcast memberships. My guy, Fire Freeze.
Shout out to Fire Freeze.
Appreciate you, big dog. Always in here supporting. You know how much it means to me. P-Pass says defense got Harsin fired. Hiring Jeff Smeding to run to the defense played a part in getting Harsin fired. Standing right next to Ryan Williams and not talking to him when he was at your school visiting. Not being in the head coach's office whenever recruits were there at the school and wanted to meet the head coach, not going to the Georgia High School Awards banquet. We could go 20 minutes about what all got Harsin fired. So a lot more than just defense, but his hire of Jeff Smeding did not help. Auburn is a bad team. They came out playing better than expected, and the league took care of it. Seems pretty cut and dry. Yeah, I'm definitely going to speak on the officiating here in just a second.
I disagree with that first part of that statement. I don't think Auburn's a bad team. I think Auburn's a bad coached offensive team.
Right.
I don't think Auburn's a bad team all the way around. Because in a game like that, in a game like that last night, the defense potentially could have given up more points in that game, but they didn't. I think Auburn's just a badly coached offensive team.
Yeah, I agree with that. Motivated, dedicated, says go Dogs and 9 straight. Yeah, buddy. There was a time when that would have bothered me, but unfortunately, what's even worse than that bothering me is we're at a place now where, yeah, sure, bud, you're probably gonna get 10, 11, 12. There's no end in sight to this bullshit. Yeah. Just so what, like, yeah, man, for sure. 10 to 12, like you can't troll what's already dead, brother. 10 to 12 man Taylor says 40 total yards after the fumble call. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. Ed Orgeron, what about him? He won games. He won a national championship. Hugh Freeze does not. So if you were comparing Hugh Freeze to Ed Orgeron, motivated and dedicated, I couldn't disagree with you more because Ed Orgeron, he has a national champmpionship. So yeah, yep, I think it would be. I think it's disrespectful to even compare those two. It's disrespectful to Ed Orgeron. Yeah, Eddie O living his best life. Marshall says you can blame the rest for the fumble, but you can't blame the rest for the debacle afterwards. 100%, brother. You are right there, yep. Marshall. 2 things can be true at the same time. Tim says I'm ready to see Ashton. I think a lot of people are ready to see something different. I'm starting to believe that Hugh was just going to go down with the ship with Jackson. Marshall says, but whatever, Kirby Smart is a liar. Yeah, we're about to speak on that. And then Alan Berry, I see your comment. That's going to be our last segment. So I will definitely speak on that for sure. All right, make sure there's no more super chats, no more gifted memberships. If you guys do want to, you had a comment that you want to make sure we get read here, super chat is the best way to do that because this chat is definitely popping. I'm trying my best to keep up. All right, so got to talk about the officials, man. And if you're a Georgia fan, and you're tuning in, and you can spare me the whole, what are you whining about the official? We just talked for 40 minutes about what's wrong with Auburn and why Auburn lost the game. But I'll speak real clearly for the dummies in the back. I'm not blaming this game on the officials. two things can be true at the same time. Auburn's offensive performance was pitiful in the second half, inexcusable, and it continues to be a thing under Hugh Freeze. Okay?
Yep.
So, done. The referees did not cost Auburn the loss. Auburn lost the football game on their own. Now, Greg Sankey and everybody involved in the officiating and replay process, don't send Auburn a letter today. You can save us the apology graphic. I don't even want to hear it. I don't care. Guys, this is my third football season doing the show. If it's your first time listening and you care enough, you can go back and listen to post-game shows. I don't ever blame the refs. I've never in my life claimed conspiracy. We just talked about it after the Oklahoma game. We both chalked it up to they're just incompetent, man. They're just bad. They're just really bad, and it is what it is. And there's countless examples. You know, the South Carolina LSU game really sticks out to me last year, where just piss poor officiating. Literally one call cost South Carolina a spot in the playoffs. And then you ask so many more questions from that. How do you talk about Shane Beamer if he got South Carolina to the playoff? Well, like this. So it's bad. And it's been bad in the SEC. What's happening to Auburn this year is suspicious. It's suspicious. Something's up. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an anti-freeze agenda. I don't know if the brand of Oklahoma and the brand of Georgia are just bigger and they're protecting those brands. The teams that have a better shot of making the playoffs and making more money for the SEC. I don't know if it's Alabama bias inside of Birmingham. There were some influential people in these decision-making processes that are Alabama alums. I'm not sure what it is. But it's something, because I'm now going to amend my statement from one of our live shows after the Oklahoma game. It's more than incompetence.
Okay.
At this point, something's up.
Okay.
And
here we go.
Boy, I really want to say some stuff here that would be responsible to say with 158 people watching live. Man. Nick, at halftime of that game, I may have refused to come out for the second half. I know everything I'm about to say. Everything I'm about to say is going to sound like clickbaitish, super ridiculous. I just got to be honest, man. In light of what happened,
get ready to clip this, ladies and gentlemen.
In light of what happened at Oklahoma, context is key here. If this was a one-off, whatever. But with the context of what happened at OU, with the whole college football world saying, boy, Auburn got hosed there.
Yep.
Everyone said it. I've never had more Bama fans come in my comments and be pro-Auburn than after the Oklahoma game. Look, Bama fans come to our show whenever I do a 10-minute breakdown of a recruit and say, that kid's going to suck. And that's the rivalry, so I'm not even mad at it. Like, you get it. I know that's going to happen when I choose to do Auburn content. That's fine. No. They were in there after the Oklahoma game saying, oh, my God, little brother got screwed. And I'm not calling Auburn little brother. I'm just saying, like, from their perspective, those were the comments. Okay? That was a touchdown. So, first off, the play before was a touchdown. So, Jackson Arnold scored twice.
He did.
Twice. And Auburn doesn't get the touch. He scored twice. He scored the play before, and it was clear as day. It's not even debatable, bro. So I got to start asking myself, clear as day, fumble, scoop and score versus Oklahoma touchdown. You take the touchdown off. It's not even debatable. Right? And you can't say that didn't change the outcome of the game. Obviously, it did. Then you have the illegal play that the conference has to apologize for.
Yep.
Okay? So clearly, those are two scoring plays that affected the outcome of the game.
Yep.
Boy, 17-0 sure does feel a lot different than 10-3.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Okay, clearly a touchdown. It's not even debatable. It's not even debatable. Okay. Motivated, get you a brain. Get you a brain, brother. Get an IQ above 20. You've been in here the whole episode, dude. We just talked all about Auburn. If you think that what the timeout, like if you can't be objective. I've never seen nothing like that. Be real, bro. Be real.
Oh God. Oh God.
That was rec league. That was like, I remember when I was playing middle school basketball.
Ooh,
and there was a coach, there was a referee, because you have to just find refs in rec league, right? You just somebody please ref these middle school kids. We had a ref that like was autistic, I think. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't even been reffing middle school games. We should have got a dad out the stand or something. And he had a coach one time just convince him to change a call. And I I remember like laughing about it, and it was like a key point in the game, but it was middle school basketball. Like, who cared? But it always just stood out to me that like the ref literally changed the call because the coach told him to.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's crazy. My dad still talks about it. Like, remember in that playoff game in middle school when that happened? I'm like, yeah, that was pretty nuts.
That's crazy.
It happened in the SEC last night. A head coach said, no. I was not Hey, just because I was running to you screaming timeout, making a timeout signal, I was not actually calling timeout. And then the ref said, you know what? I think you're right. And instead of getting a delay of game, they just restarted. No timeout charge, no timeout charge, and you can just restart. Hugh, good news, brother. We don't have to call timeouts ever again. Just run up to the ref, scream timeout at the top of your lungs, make the signal, and when he goes to charge it to you, say, no, I was clapping.
Clap my hands. That's what I was doing.
People run down the field 30 yards staring at a referee clapping.
Clap my hands. That's what I was doing.
That's the play clock's winding down. Right. Look, man, Hugh Freeze should be allowed to say whatever he wants. His players should be allowed to say whatever he wants. John Cohen should hold a press conference today, go live, hold a press conference, invite the media, and go scorched earth. And I'm going to go a step further for you. If this continues, you need either A, pull your team off the field, okay, and refuse to play. Hey, we might have to go. You know why Auburn and Alabama didn't play for 40 years? Because of this shit. Well, guess what? We're back. We're back here now. Auburn cannot get games officiated fair. So at some point, you have to protect yourself, your brand, your players, your institution, and your fans that all paid $400 to get into that game last night. Some paid $1,000, $2,000 to sit at the 50-yard line.
Yep.
And you got treated to a middle school level product. And once again, and I have no problem with this, but Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold have to sit at a podium and answer questions about their poor performance. Why do the officials just get to walk off in nothing? Nothing. What did the SEC say the last time they apologized, Nick? We will take supplemental discipline and no further actions will be, we will not comment on this any further. Basically saying, we got it. Don't worry. We'll handle it. No, we don't trust you. We don't trust you. And I've never, ever said this before because it sounds ridiculous. There's some kind of anti-Auburn or anti-Hugh Freeze. There is something going on in that office in Birmingham because Auburn can't win a review to save their life with Hugh Freeze as head coach. And anytime Auburn does get a little bit of momentum, the referees say, nope, not having that. You know what? You want to call target on K and Lee? Fine. That's targeting. But what was that in the second half? Keldrick Falk right in front of a ref on a crucial third down conversion for Georgia. Getting held and hands to the face. You can call either one of them. Either one of them. And they don't do it. That game, there was some kind of fix. Auburn would have had to have won that game by 20-something points, or otherwise the SEC had a predetermined outcome, and you can't tell me any differently. I don't believe you're that incompetent. I refuse to believe it at this point. Not this many times in a row. It's not an accident anymore. Something's up. And I'll take it a step further than saying you need to pull your team off the field. Auburn quit playing Alabama for 40-something years back in the day because Alabama kept bringing their own officials and screwing Auburn over. Yep. Auburn needs to come out and say, we will no longer play games with SEC officials and the SEC replay booth involved if this is what continues to happen. And if it continues to go this route, we'll take our asses to the Big Ten if you can't protect us. Because this is beyond pathetic. It's beyond pathetic. There's no excuse for it. All these other conferences let you view the replay. We get to watch it. We get to see. Why can't we see it, SEC? What's up?
Yeah,
what's up? You know what's up. You know what's up. You're screwing Auburn and you're doing it intentionally. I don't believe you're that stupid, Nick. I don't believe they're that stupid. I refuse to believe they're that stupid on accident. Not that many times in a row. Once, twice, 3 times maybe. Nah, bro. Nah. Nope. Something's up, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, and you be like, yo, a lot of these calls that's going against Auburn, and you looking at it like, hey man, something ain't right. Something ain't right. But you know, if you say something, people be like, oh man, y'all just upset that y'all lost the game. Well, you look at these calls, some of these calls actually cost Auburn some games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And things and stuff like that.
Yeah, like let's not act like they don't affect the game.
Yeah, they affect the game a lot. And when you look at it from a perspective of, you look at it as a coach and a culture of a team that has to have everything go right for them to win. When that happens and that one call affects the game, it affects the team, especially the offensive side of the ball. You know, it affects them. So yeah, that one play can affect the game. And I don't know, man. I thought I saw somebody in the chat say, man, that maybe this is retribution from the SEC because the SEC didn't want Hugh Freeze back in the conference.
Man, I can't believe I'm there. I can't believe maybe, man. Maybe.
Because when you start seeing stuff like this, your mind just go everywhere and you actually have to think about it, because you be like, all right, well, I think they wanted him at Bama at one point in time and they X'd that one. They said, nah, that ain't gonna happen. You can't get him back in the conference. Like that was a narrative at one point in time. Like, I believe Saban really wanted him to come be either analyst or OC at Alabama, but the conference was like, nah, we can't have that happen. Like, I remember that being a story.
Right.
And so I look at it and I'm like, well, if he wasn't, I look at it and I'm just like, it might be some validity to what Dustin's saying right here, man. I'm just saying, like, we might have to look at this and just be like,
I don't ever go this route, man.
Yeah, I know. It gotta be some validity to this, man. And I'm just like, man, this is wild, bro. Here is how we reset this. Let's just let Hugh Freeze go about his merry way, and let's just go find somebody else that can come in and have a culture change in this program and get Auburn back to winning football games, bro. That's what I'm saying. Let's just let old Hugh go on by his merry way. You know, let him go be an analyst at Fox, ESPN, the SEC network somewhere, and then we just come back and we just get another coach and we start winning football games again. That's what we need to do. That's what I'm gonna say about that. But you got some validity to that one, Dustin. There's some validity to what you're saying, because you're not the only one that's saying that, bro. It's a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way, Dustin.
Yeah, please, God, do not send Auburn another apology note. Don't do it. Don't do it. And if they do, I think John Cohen should literally wipe his ass with it and send it back. Like, actually do that.
Like boo stains on it.
Yeah, like mail it back. Here you go, buddy.
Mail it back with boo stains on it.
This is what I think about it. Motivated and dedicated says fixed. It was fixed. Y'all had 1 first down in the second half. But do your ears not work? I know that the doctor's office is not open on Sundays, but I'll pray for you, buddy. I hope your ears get better, and maybe you can get your appointment scheduled for sometime this week and go get your ears fixed, because I don't think you've been listening. But I will pray for you, buddy. Tennis girl with a super lame play on words here. Auburn Krigers. That's pathetic. Is that all you got?
Tennis girl be in all the chats. She a troll. What up? I say every time I see her, I be like, what's up?
Yeah, that's terrible. Well, if she's a full-time troll, she's got to do better than that. That's piss poor. Enough Fire Free says blatant cheating. Yeah, something's up, dude. Something's up. I don't know. And look, again, We're gonna say, oh, here's another one, Hugh Freeze. That's original. Boy, oh boy, tennis girl, you're cooking. Maybe stick to tennis, sweetheart. And so part of this too is, again, all that being said, that ran aside, Auburn still could have won the football game, and Auburn didn't.
And that's the most disappointing.
And it's Auburn's fault. And you can get on here and we can scream and yell about the refs all we want. It has nothing to do with what we continue to see be the issue with Hugh Freeze as the head coach. It's hard to overcome bad calls. It's really hard to have points taken off the board versus teams that are as good and quality opponents like Oklahoma and Georgia. Completely understand that. And I know that it's a very hard concept to grasp that multiple things can all be true at one time, but they are here. Very bad officiating that continues to hurt Auburn in big games. It's to the point to where I think something's up. And a lot of neutral observers think that as well. I mean, just check social media last night. Like, you got former Bama players saying, what are they doing to Auburn? Like, that's where it's at. At the same time, like the Georgia troll said, he had one first down. There was a couple there in garbage time, but like, down by 10, Georgia's in basically prevent, making sure you don't beat them over the top. Yep. They're up by 10 with a minute and a half to go. Like, that's the obvious play there. So you'll get some easy stuff underneath. So that yardage and those first downs are kind of irrelevant. When the pressure was on, then you had to do something. You weren't even able to pick up a first down. So ultimately, it all falls back on the head coach because, like we continue to say every week, Nick, if we had two baskets and we were putting the good wins in one basket and the bad losses in another basket, this is another one that goes in the bad loss basket, and there's still nothing over there in the good win one, and it's piling up so high that I think this is a fair question to be asked here. $5 super chat from Alan Berry. Appreciate you, Alan, so much for tuning in. Thank you for the $5 super chat, brother. He says, when should Freeze be fired? If you wait too late, you could be competing with Florida, Florida State, and Penn State for a top coach. This is a fascinating question. We'll end the show here because it's the obvious question. I'm sure Nick will do content on this week. I'm going to do plenty of content on Auburn's head coaching situation this week. I'm okay with whatever at this point. I'm okay with whatever at this point, guys. If Hugh Freeze gets fired today, I won't be mad at it. I'll understand it. If Auburn feels like they want to give it another week and you don't want to fire him, because Missouri's a good team and they proved that yesterday. Yeah. If Auburn feels like, hey, this is not the week to fire a coach, you got Missouri coming at home, see if maybe you can rally the troops and you can find a way to piss the boys off and get them motivated or something. Maybe you give it one more go, and I won't start complaining until next week. If you lose to Missouri next week and it's still he doesn't get fired that Sunday, that's when I'll start getting loud about it. I guess we all feel like it's inevitable and it's going to come. The question is just when. So I'm kind of cool with whatever. The only thing I wouldn't be cool with, Nick, is that if you lose to Missouri and it kind of continues down this path and you just wait till the end of the year. Yeah. I won't be okay with if you go 5-7 and you let him like coach the year out. If you lose to Missouri or if you fire him today, I'm okay with that type thing. But don't let this continue to drag out it much longer. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Oh man, you've been watching us since the season started. I was off the train after Texas A&M. I look at it from the aspect of, like I asked the question earlier, man, are we on the verge of irrelevancy? Is that what we are? And what type of program Auburn wants to be? And I liken it to this, and I just look at it like, man, if you're sick and you want to get well, do you wait to go to the doctor? Or do you go to the doctor and get the medication and everything that you need right then and there in order to get and try to get well right then and there? I look at in the profession of coaching, bro. In that profession, guys got to know that if you don't perform, you're going to be scrutinized because people have an affinity to a lot of these teams. Even if they didn't graduate from there, there's some type of affinity that they have to these teams and stuff like that. And if you're not performing up to a standard, which I still don't know what the standard is for this Auburn football team at some point in time. If you're not performing up to a standard and you're not winning games and you're not showing proof of concept and you're not producing and getting better every week on the field, people are going to start questioning if you are the right person for the job. We have 2.5 years of watching this, and I think we all can sit here and say that it's not working. It's not working. It's starting to become a repeating, and it's starting to become a predictable thing of what we just look at and just be like, we know what's about to happen. Yeah. We know what's about to happen. And I look at it and I look at it and I just say, man, this is not whether we do it at the end of the season or whether we do it now, what's going to change? Like, why not try somebody else right now? If the guy that you made the second highest paid coordinator in the country, why not try him right now as an interim to see what it could look like with him as the guy and the resources? Because we've seen for the past 2.5 seasons, and you can point to every single instance. You picking Peyton Thorne, then you saying you don't have enough talent. You get rid of 2 coordinators. Then guess what? You double down on Peyton Thorne, and as you allude to all the time, Dustin, you make him a starting quarterback because he's pressing in practice. And then we come out and we see that the offense doesn't look any better. It actually looked like it regressed some. Then you go out and go get another quarterback that you got day 4 in the winter portal. And now the offense still looks bad. The offense looks like it's regressing again. And we are sitting here, we are sitting here telling you what is going to happen on the football field, because we have seen this story over and over and over and over and over again. So why not cut ties with the guy and see what you got with Durkin as the guy? And I know a lot of people are saying, well, let's go hire an OC, that's gonna call plays and don't let him touch the building. No, because he's still there. That's the right. That's
right. Yeah,
he's still there.
Yeah, you gotta change it.
He's still the head guy. He's still there. The culture starts with the head guy, man.
Yeah,
It starts with that guy. Let him go, man. I don't care. If Hugh Freeze, if you see this, man, it's time for you to go, man. It's time for you to go, man. Leave, man. Leave. We don't want you here no more. I don't want you here no more.
You know, I think it's
I'm saying, bro, man, bro. We are tired of hearing the same thing. Oh, we're close. Oh, we almost there, bro. Oh, it's almost, man, bro. No, we're not close. The defense close. The offense far, far away. It never land. That's what the offense is. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, I look at this, man, and I just be like, bro, if you want to be relevant again, and you want to be respected again, and you want these rivalries to mean something again, go out and hire the most recent, relevant, successful coach, and let that man and please, and this, here's another thing, man. This whole thing about this guy, the coach has to be liked by everybody in that makes the decisions. Man, I ain't gotta be liked, because if I win games, guess what? You're gonna love me,
right?
Bro, man, Auburn got to make sure that they got to go out and get the right guy, bro. Get the right guy for the job, not somebody that's just one of those guys that's just in good with the people that make the decisions and make the money and make money decisions. We can't, bro. We can't have that. We can't have that, man. Go find the right guy so you can be respected again in college football, because it seems like the respect for Auburn football has just been evaporated. It ain't even there no more, bro. When you got recruits. When you have recruits, Braylon Womack was quoted. He was like, man, we got to fix stuff on the offensive side of the ball. When you got recruits saying that, come on, man. Come on. You are about to lose a lot of stuff that was invested into this program, man. And the return on the investment is not about to be something that a lot of people are not going to be excited with, man. Man, Hugh Freeze, bro, do Auburn a favor and just be like, I'm gonna bow out gracefully and just wish you all the best. Do it for us, please.
Yep. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. Good stuff, Nick. I'm gonna get through a couple more of these comments before we get out of here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel today. Ken Williamson, failed clown. Failed clown school. That's how he became a ref in the SEC. Yeah, Ken's terrible. Ken's terrible. And Ken needs to have his name on the back of his jerseys, his ref uniform, and everybody needs to know just how bad at his job he really is. Say that name. I'll continue to say it. Ken Williamson. Bad. Piss poor. Pathetic. You suck at your job, brother. Alex Brown says they can't hear for all the barking, Dustin. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's only one way to shut them up, and that's to win the football game. But yeah, definitely some. I'll just leave it alone. Fire Freeze says, ignore the trolls. Two things are true. Freeze sucks and needs to be fired. The refs are abominable. Yeah. I mean, it takes third grade critical thinking skills to be able to understand that multiple things can all be happening at the same time. And thank you again for the 20 gifted memberships, Fire Freeze. Really appreciate it.
Fire Freeze, man.
Julian says, we need an actual OC, not part-time OCs that can't take the reign of your team and try to be a play caller. A lot of discussion about this. I'm sure we'll talk about this more during the week, Julian. I agree with you. You know, it's becoming very obvious that this isn't working, at least for this head coach. Christopher says all of the fluke stuff Auburn has had go in their favor over the past 20 years, and they're crying about bad luck. That's funny. You talking about the kick six and the prayer at Jordan Hare that happened in 2013. Man. So a couple of big plays. Okay. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up, man. Like the video, all that stuff. I will be back Tuesday, 9 a.m. with the next edition of the Uptempo podcast. Members, look out for, the deal Wednesday. We'll have the members pot up for you guys. And, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I'm probably going to be a lot of discussions that come from this. And if there's any breaking news that might happen today or tomorrow, we will be here to address that as well. We will be on the lookout. Yeah. So, keep your eyes peeled because things could happen. Big things could possibly happen. Not making a prediction, but at this point, we need to be on the lookout. Nick, what's going on with the Water Cooler Talk podcast? How can everybody find you? Check out all the good work going on over there, my guy.
The Woody Hayes whiteboard is back. Hey,
yeah,
Water
baby.
Cooler Talk Sports YouTube, man. Go follow us over there on YouTube at Water Cooler Talk Sports. Follow us at CoolSpot23 on Twitter as well, man. We'll be here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central is where we'll be on YouTube. Of course, we'll be talking about this game and talking about Hugh Freeze even more if he's still the guy. And we'll be previewing the Missouri game as well. And, of course, on Saturdays for every Auburn game, we go into the locker room and we live stream the games, man. And we appreciate you all that come over and watch the game with us, man. We have a great time. So we appreciate that so much, man. Thank y'all so much for all that y'all do, man. I appreciate you so much for having me over here so I can just get off my rants. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No, it's fun. Man, I don't know. Maybe next week, Nick. Maybe next week we'll go back on the wagon and have a fun show. In some ways, this was fun, but not in the way that I wanted. Not in the way I wanted it to be, man. Thank you guys. Great crowd. War Damn Eagle. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. And God bless. Tell somebody that you love them. At the end of the day, we love our Tigers. It's just football. And I will see y'all Tuesday, 9 a.m. for the latest edition of the Uptempo podcast. War Damn Eagle. See y'all then. I'm out.
Yes, sir.